salam, assalamu alaikum. Actually, it's a very stunning experiences in my life. So I am going to illustrate my presentation in front of a lot of my talented and innovative guys. Today, my presentation, my discussion on the topic is the functional use of modal verb. And my part is the word ought to, must, and dare. So I will try to do my best to describe in a brief the functional use of the word ought to, must, and dare. And here, ought to and dare is a semi-modal auxiliary verb, and must is an example of modal auxiliary verb. So let's get started. Okay. The first is functional use of ought to in the English statement. So first is when we use ought to when talking about things which are desired or ideal. So the example would be we ought to eat lots of fruit and vegetables every day. In this statement, ought to used to express our absolute desire or ideal. And the another example would be they ought to have more parks in the city center. So is another example that express the absolute desire or ideal of the person. And the another is we use ought to talk about things that are desire or ideal in the first, but which didn't happen, and it actually express the regret. So the example would be we ought to have locked the gate, then the dog wouldn't have got out. In this statement, ought used in the very first sentence of these two statements that that ought to try to express the incident of the first, but it didn't happen. So the next is we can use ought to. We talk about what is likely or probable. The example would be the concert ought to only take about 2 hours, so we will be home by 12 p.m. Here, ought to used or refers the actual probable events of the person. The relationship between ought to or should. Should is another modal auxiliary verb in English grammar. So actually, ought to and should are very similar in meaning, but should is more common than ought to. Actually, we ought to we can use in a formal written English. So now the use of functional use of must. Must, such a modal auxiliary verb that express the very strong obligation and necessity, which means you have no choice. You have to do this. Okay. The example would be there must be a minimum of the 2 members of the company at a meeting. So it refers that actually we have to do this. We have to be present at the meeting ground. So another is we think carefully about facts. We often use must to express deduction and conclusion from this. The example would be he is so small. He must be no more than 4 years old. In this statement, must, that he is so small, it's a fact. And must, and the next is the conclusion. Here, must used both fact and conclusion. So another example, the functional use of must in this statement. We often use must with more general references to the user, particularly when talking about obligation that come from the speaker. So the example would be I must try harder next time, and the another example is I must fuck around one evening. And we also use the functional of the word must to express the polite invitations or encouragement to the audience. The example would be you must go and see that film. Okay, now the functional use of modal verb dare. Dare is both a main verb and a semi-modal auxiliary verb. It can use in a sentence both as a main verb or semi-modal verb. So dare can mean challenge somebody. So the example is, go on, I dare you. Here, in this sentence, they are used to challenge somebody, to express that challenge somebody. They are also mean to be brave enough or rash enough to do something. It has the two part of expression, affirmative statement or expression, and the another is negative statement or expression. The first is affirmative statement. The example would be, if Sally dares go there again, she will be in big trouble. Here, dares used as a very ordinary verb. And the next is the example of negative statement. He doesn't dare go there. Here, there is also used as an ordinary verb. But the next example is, no one dare go there. Here, there is used the absolutely semi-modern verb. So thank you everyone, and hope to see you again. Inshallah.